What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We've got some no ban list modern action. Round 2 of 4. We got Dan on Bant, Miracle Control against Clarence on Elves. Both players are 1-0, and we will start with a Green Sun Zenith 4-0. This is probably going to get a Dryad Arbor, and it looks like Dan is going to fetch up something here. But yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. If you're watching on Twitch, thank you so much for hanging out with us live. And if you're watching after the fact, that's awesome too. Make sure, if you are watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell icon, and hit yes so you don't miss out on our videos. We've got a huge library of live content, paper, magic, and other games as well. But yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out. I'm Les Alex. We're here. This is going to be fun. Shocking. But yeah, let's get this poll started. Who y'all got? Do you got Dan on Bant? Or do you got Clarence on Elves? I'll get the poll started. This should be a good one. So excited for this one. We've got an Up the Beanstalk for Dan. Pass back. We're going to fetch. We're going to shock. Clarence going to go to 17. That's okay. Dan doesn't do a whole lot of attacking. Like in the YouTube doesn't hurt you and helps IGC when the algo? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty fun matchup. Classic magic matchup. Aggro versus control. We just watched Mono Red Prison against Mono Red Storm. And Clarence beat Jack, who was on Teamer Delver. So... and Dan on Bant Miracles. I guess you could call it Bant Beans Miracles? Bean Bant Miracles. I don't know. Gonna get things started with the Deathrite Shaman for Clarence. And we're gonna tap 2 mana for a Elvish Witness. Elvish Visionary. Sorry, that's the name of it. 2 mana. 1/1 when it enters battlefield, you draw a card. And a pass back to Dan. So let's see what Dan's got here. Gonna play a Windswept Heath and crack down to 16. But yeah, Dan wants to kind of establish Clarence wants to establish a quick board and finish this game off as quickly as possible. Dan, on the other hand, wants to stave off these little critters as quickly as he can because Clarence's board is going to get really full really fast. Unfortunately for Dan, he does have a Terminus in hand, but here is Oko, Thief of Crowns. And are we going to elk something? No, we're going to make a food. And that, oh man, Oko has so much loyalty. Up to 6 loyalty. So none of the creatures, even if they all attacked the Oko, still not going to be able to take it down this turn. But Clarence has a lot of awesome cards in his hand. We're going to go Glimpse of Nature, potentially first things first. So Glimpse of Nature is a banned card in Modern, but this is no ban list Modern. Every time a creature enters the battlefield this turn, Clarence will draw a card. There's a Quirion Ranger Going to draw and picks up another band card in Skull Clamp. Dryad Arbor going to tap for some mana here, it looks like. For a Wirewood Symbiote. Going to draw another card. Elvish Mystic, I think, was the card drawn there by Clarence. So next turn is going to be very, very, very good for Clarence. Deathrite Shaman. Green Sun. For 1, Dan's like, wait, you didn't exile a land. Clarence is like, yeah, you right. So we're going to search for a 1-drop here. And it is Heritage Druid. So we got Wirewood Symbiote, Heritage Druid, and Quirion Ranger. What is this, Legacy Elves? Holy smokes. So tap 3, add 3 green. That's thanks to Heritage Druid. We're going to return the Elvish Visionary and untap the Deathrite Shaman. Visionary is going to re-enter, draw a card thanks to the Glimpse of Nature, and draw a card off of the Visionary. And then we're going to use the last one for Nettle Sentinel. And Clarence is going to draw another card. Activate Deathrite Shaman for the mana ability again. We're going to probably play this Elvish Mystic, I think. Yep, draw a card. Holy smokes, he's drawing a ton of cards. Tap 3 more Elves to generate 3 more green mana. There is Elvish War Master. We've got a reader. And here's Elvish War Master for those inquiring minds. 2 mana, 2/2. Whenever one or more other elves enter the battlefield, you make a 1/1. It only triggers once, but still very good. And then for 7 mana, you can all your elves get +2/+2 Death Touch until end of the turn. Pretty good. Whoa! Somebody ran into the camera rig. Sorry about that shakiness, folks. Here's an Eldamri Corvectol, which will untap Nettle Sentinel, drawing Clarence another card. Now, Corvectol here is Eldamri Corvectol for you folks and for me. There's another Heritage Druid, going to draw another card. So, going to tap 3, add 3 green to the pool, and is able to cast creatures from the top of the library thanks to Eldamri. Nettle Sentinel going to untap thanks to the Quirion Ranger entering the battlefield. Did Clarence forget to draw off the Nettle Sentinel entering the battlefield? I'm not sure. Going to take a peek again. Going to cast another Nettle Sentinel. Going to draw a card. Going to peek. Going to tap 3, add 3 more green to the pool. And things are just clicking right now here for Clarence. What's an Oko to a Swarm? Oh my gosh, and here is the Skull Clamp we knew about. But now Clarence is really just going to draw through his entire deck. Maybe not literally, but it's going to get pretty gross. So sacrifice. Basically, unfortunately, that Dryad Arbor is getting sacrificed. Basically for 2 new cards for Clarence. I think it was 2 lands. The issue here with Clarence, if he passes back, it gives Dan an opportunity to find a terminus off the top. So that could be bad news bears. That means all those elves, all this hard work, all this amazing turn for Clarence could go and get undone. All right, pass back. No terminus, I take it. Nope. So Dan probably counting up to see how much damage Clarence has on board now. Clarence does have a Green Sun Zenith, which is basically going to allow him to win the game next turn. I do believe Clarence has a Green Sun Zenith in hand. So that's going to take Dan to 15. Xander's Lounge. Clarence realizing he needed a discard. That's fine, just discarding a land. Tap, add a white. There's Leyline Binding, which is going to trigger up the Beanstalk, and he's going to hit Eldamri Corvectol, it looks like. Clarence going to return it to hand with the Quirion Ranger ability, which untaps Deathrite Shaman. Or, I'm sorry, with the Wirewood Symbiote, yeah. 2 mana, Beseiju, the Skull Clamp, that seems great. Clarence going to search up a land here. Yeah, Green Sun's WinCon, no joke. Yeah, just gets a basic land type. Unfortunately, can't get any like specialty lands. Like Nykthos or anything like that. That would be... Gonna Elk the food token and pass back. I don't think that Elk's gonna make the difference though. All right, Clarence gonna untap his massive board, except for his Nettle Sentinels, and now we're gonna go to work. Clarence gonna try and finish this one off. We're gonna play a forest. Gonna take. I don't think Clarence can't look at the top of his library now because the Corvectol's in hand. Yeah. I think he just realized that. It's very easy to... Both players playing long turns. Here is a Green Sun and a Force Negation pitching Dig Through Time. That'll definitely save Dan for now. Tap 3 Elves, add 3 green to the pool. There's Eldamri Corvectol back to the fray, which will untap the Nettle Sentinels. Now we can look at that top card. I don't think Clarence was doing anything nefarious. Bouncing back with the Wirewood Symbiote. Adding 3 red. There is Visionary, which will untap the Nettle Sentinels, which will draw a card. Tap these 2. And the Elvish Visionary. Add 3 green back into the pool. That's fair. And here's a glimpse of nature, a band card. A lot of band cards in Clarence's deck. Priest of Titania, yeah. I'm gonna draw. There is an Azuri Renegade Leader. That is a good one. Add 3 green. There's Azuri. Gonna untap. Gonna draw. Gonna peek the top card of the library. Yeah. Elvish War Master should be getting a 1/1 token each time a creature enters the battlefield. Tap 3 Elves. Add 3 green. He's doing it. Wirewood Symbiote, a pretty good one. Gonna untap, gonna draw. Another glimpse of nature. That would be pretty good. I think Clarence is keeping track of green mana in pool right now, right off camera. So I'm not sure how much right now is in the pool. I can zoom out a touch. See if... That didn't do much for me. I can't see what he's writing, but Chad, if you can, let me know. Yeah, it's just the first one. You're right. You're right. That will be all she wrote. Clarence going to take game number 1 here with Elves. No ban list modern. This is a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. It's been a blast thus far. We've got 2 more rounds after this, and of course the conclusion of this one. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. He draws a ton of cards, generates a ton of mana, taps and untaps things very, very many times. It's a lot, but Clarence going to be fighting for that 2-0 spot. This is a win-a-box too, so winner will be getting a box. So let's see what these guys are going to... Okay, looks like Oko, Thief of Crowns coming out for Dan. Definitely going to want to put more removal. If he has any mass removal in his sideboard, he's going to want to fighting for his life. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's like a couple Okos. Maybe a Subtlety, I think. Bless. Yes. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. Again, our website is up. It is live. You can go to impactgamingcenter.gg for all your Magic the Gathering needs. If you play any other card games, we've got sealed product there for them as well. Board games, Warhammer, D&D, if it's gaming related. You name it, we got it on the website. Or you can just come in and see us. We'd love to meet you, talk to you, talk about games, hang out. But yeah, let's get down. Alrighty. Let's zoom in just a smidge here. Looks like Dan, not a fan of his hand bars. Clarence going to keep, though. Didn't quite see what either player brought in. I assume Dan brought in mass removal. We did see that he took out some Okos. I'd imagine things like Supreme Verdict. Oh, no. Dan going to 5 against the aggro deck. That never feels good. Hey, as a control player, let me tell you, this never feels good if you're sitting in Dan's seat right now. Mulliganing to 5 against the combo aggro deck. Not exactly where you want to be, that's for sure. Clarence, though, still chilling. Clarence is a very even keel player. His demeanor doesn't change too much, whether he's winning or losing. Kind of cool as a cucumber. Wrath of the Sky. I'm not sure. I didn't take a look at his deck. I flipped through the main board. I didn't see either of those cards in his main deck. That's not to say that they're not in the sideboard. Oh my gosh, he has the Terminus in hand again. Yeah, we're gonna bottom that one. And bottom that one. So Terminus, Mystic Sanctuary, both gonna go to the bottom. But yeah, Bioamp, I'm not sure on that one. So we got Counterspell, Ponder, and some lands with an Up the Beanstalk. Gonna play Hallowed Fountain down to 18, and this is probably gonna be a Ponder incoming. 1, 2, 3. Look at the top 3 cards. Put them back in any order. And we'll keep. Didn't quite get a good look. I saw land and maybe a prismatic ending. All right, Clarence going to play Overgrown Tomb. He'll go to 18 as well. And there is an Elvish Mystic pass back to Dan. And it was a prismatic ending. Okay, so we probably are going to see Up the Beanstalk here. Down to 16. I imagine since we're fetching here, and he's fetch shocking, so yes. Breeding Pool. And there is Up the Beanstalk. Gonna draw a card, gonna pass back to Clarence, gonna take a draw step. We got a Wirewood Symbiote. Green Sun Zenith. I think that's a Priest of Titania, and then I cannot see what else is in Clarence's hand. Counterspell, Prismatic Ending, lands for Dan. Oh, and a Supreme Verdict, so there is the verdict. Pretty sure that he was bringing that in. Llanowar Elves. Gonna tap for some mana. After the Quirion Ranger entered. Gonna return the land. To play the land, down to 16. Gonna untap the Elf. War Master. And Heritage Druid. Gonna trigger the Elf token. Gonna tap 3 Elves to make 3 green mana. There's a Priest of Titanium. Holy smokes. Supreme Verdict might not be quick enough. There's a Wirewood Symbiote. That's all 3 mana there. You can add... I was going to say, he could have potentially added 3 more mana. Windswept Heath. Prismatic Ending targeting your Wirewood Symbiote. That gets exiled. And past turn. Dan, we know, has a counter spell in hand. Actual, factual, blue, counter target spell. Deathrite Shaman. We have a Crater Hoof in hand. He's triggering the War Master here. And I guess Dan said I'm going to counterspell that because Clarence has put it in the graveyard, so I assume that communication has been had. Priest of Titania, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Return my land, untap Priest of Titania. Play my land again. Tap this. Add 6 more. Hoof you. GG. Yeah, and shows Uro and Supreme Verdict. Supreme Verdict not fast enough. Clarence is tearing this tournament up right now. He's going to take it 2 games to 0 in pretty quick fashion. That was pretty darn impressive by Clarence. We might see him later on in the tournament. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're watching live, we do appreciate the heck out of you. If you're watching after the fact on YouTube, though, you're really cool, but you should subscribe, like, comment, and hit the notification bell icon. Flip it to yes so you have all our videos. Every time we post, you will get notified. We appreciate you. Go check out our backlog. Check out all the videos popping up on the screen. I guarantee you'll like it. But until the next round, if you're watching on Twitch, or the next video, I will catch you all in the next one. Adios.